Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Shelly and I make videos typically on diet, on carnivore or keto, but today's video is a little different. I felt obligated to update you guys on what has happened. Basically from the time of finding out I became pregnant, I filmed updates for you guys. You know, obviously from the beginning I thought things were going to be okay. Unfortunately that wasn't the case, but from the beginning I had spotting, light bleeding, and basically I filmed several videos updating you as things went along and what happened, with pictures of what happened in between, before the miscarriage happened. And yeah, so today is, what's today? December 9th, and I miscarried on the 27th of November. It took about a week and a half to stop bleeding, and I finally have built up the courage to actually edit and put this video together. So please bear with me. There's a lot of all over the place in this video, and I hope that if you're going through a miscarriage or you think you might be, I pray that you get through this difficult time, and I hope this video is helpful for everyone that is watching. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're watching this is probably months later, but today is the 29th of October and I found out some big news. So here we are, still been carnivore, still currently I'm filming the video of a week doing just beef and butter. So yeah, it's been difficult because I'm craving junk food because I'm pregnant, and so it makes sense why I was getting a little grossed out by the meat, but I'm still sticking to it. And so I knew that there was a possibility of this, and as soon as I started getting grossed out by the meat, I kind of was like, I never get grossed out by meat. So I kind of questioned what was going on, and then last night I was just like, I felt like a scavenger, just like eating so much. I could not fill up, pretty much. I just had to constantly eat and eat. And so basically I am 10 days past when I ovulated, and yeah, my symptoms so far are a little bit of a meat aversion. I'm starving, I'm constantly eating, and I haven't had any headache or much cramping or anything. I did have starting yesterday, I had a little bit of spotting, but I guess, which I thought was my period, but it wasn't. Anyway, so I had a little bit of spotting and I thought, okay, it's my period. And then as the night went on, I was just like starving, and I was like, well, this is weird. And so I took a test yesterday, and there was a super faint line, and that's what happened with my daughter. This is my second baby. And so I took another test today, and the digital came back pregnant. So here we are, still carnivore, still super strict carnivore right now. I'm gonna see how this goes. I don't know how long I'll be able to do just the beef and butter, but I'm gonna try because I'm doing a protocol to work on my thyroid health. And yeah, so I'm gonna keep you guys updated through my journey. I know it's probably gonna be difficult because a lot of doctors are against keto and carnivore, and they're probably, my one doctor has already been mad at me for this, so not excited to deal with them. I haven't even called them yet, but I'll keep you updated, and I'm going to
tell you how it is, and I'm gonna be honest. With this meat aversion, I don't know if I'm gonna have to go to keto. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. Today was a little better than yesterday. Yesterday I tried making bison burgers and I nearly vomited. I was like, ugh, cannot have that. And then I was like, what is wrong with me? So, any case, we'll keep you updated on my symptoms and how carnivore continues to go. So far my symptoms are thirst and being extremely hungry and wanting junk food and what else? Spotting. Also I've been kind of restless, but I feel like it's because I kind of had feeling something was off, but I haven't been sleeping that great. So that's 10 days past ovulation. I kind of like sensed something was off a few days ago, but I wasn't sure, and here we are. So that's my update. Hey guys, so today is 11 days past ovulation. Yesterday I found out pregnant. The nausea is very extreme and very difficult to just eat meat. I ate a lot and was fine all day until about 3 o'clock. I was like extremely nauseous and I haven't eaten since. It's 7:40. I know I need to eat now. So I'm making ground beef. I had steak already made, ribeye, and that just sounded gross, so the ground beef doesn't sound that great either, but I'm almost halfway through the protocol and I really want to get to the bottom of my autoimmune issues, so we'll see how long I can stick to this. Pregnancy and carnivore is difficult. Well, this level of carnivore anyways. And I am having a lot of spotting, light bleeding, which gave me a heart attack earlier. But I think it's just called implantation bleeding. I'm gonna go to the doctor tomorrow morning and I'll keep you guys updated. I just want to add that meat is not sounding great, well, beef right now, but this whole day of nausea, like every type of food sounded terrible. Even crackers sounded terrible. Not that I was gonna eat any, but nothing, no food sounded good. I was been that nauseous on and off, so this is gonna be interesting. Hey guys, so just got back from the doctor. It's October 31st. I am 12 days past ovulation and today is Monday, and since Friday afternoon I've been having this on and off spotting, and sometimes it seems like a lighter period, not just spotting, and this morning it got to be a little more, so I wanted to go to the doctor. And my doctor wasn't in today, so I saw a replacement doctor and she was very rude and didn't really give me the time of day. I wanted to show her pictures of, you know, what the bleeding, spotting looked like, and she didn't even want to see them and pretty much told me that the pregnancy's probably not going to end well and that I need to go get blood work done and then come back on Friday and get blood work done again if I haven't miscarried already, to see if the HCG has gone up or down. So it's been a hard day. I don't know what's going on. I haven't had any like severe heavy bleeding. The pregnancy test I took this morning was darker than the one I took yesterday, so that's good, but I don't know, I'm just kind of in a bummed out state, and like I said, in the meantime I'm going back to regular carnivore because I've been nauseous on and off yesterday, and this morning was pretty bad. I'm doing okay now, but I need to be able to eat different things. So yeah, that's the update. It's hard to be hopeful when the doctor is so, she didn't even say it nicely. I feel like she could have said, you know, I want to prepare you, this could happen. But she just kind of like wrote me off. And so anyways, that's my update. I'll keep you guys updated through this. Hey guys, so this is just an update to what's been going on. Today is 12 days past ovulation, and my doctors think that I'm having a chemical pregnancy just based on the HCG level and the bleeding, like spotting that hasn't gone away. It's like light bleeding, and so they think it's a chemical pregnancy, but we don't know for sure yet. I retest on Friday, but my level from yesterday morning was 31, and with my daughter at this point it was like 60 something. So because it's on the low side and I'm spotting, they think that it's a chemical pregnancy, which, yeah, it's just been a rough day. So yeah, that's what's happened. I've been taking tests every day, like multiple times a day, and the last like 3 or 4 tests have just stayed the same. They're still like positive, but they're not getting darker. And with my daughter, they definitely got darker each day. Each time I took it, they got darker. So I'm not sure if this is having to do with my thyroid hormones being too low, because I know that I need to up the medication. But I'm waiting to hear back from my endocrinologist to tell me what to do, because technically on their books I'm still pregnant until the HCG is 0 or negative. So she's supposed to call me back today or tomorrow morning, and I think we're gonna end up having to switch back to the Tirosint, which it caused me anxiety, but I don't know what to do, and I'm torn between the naturopath doctor and my regular endocrinologist. The naturopath doctor is harder to get a hold of and can't write prescriptions, and so it's just been a mess pretty much, because I got my regular endocrinologist to prescribe the natural desiccated thyroid medicine, but she really didn't recommend this for pregnancy, and I didn't think I was gonna get pregnant, honestly. So now that I am, and even if I had this chemical pregnancy, she's not gonna want me to continue on the natural desiccated thyroid, because I do want to end up trying in the next few months for another baby if this doesn't work out. And so yeah, I don't know. It's frustrating because I did this whole like protocol and everything. I'm still gonna stay carnivore for now. Today I freaked out, and for the first time in almost 3 months, I had some rice because I was worried that my endocrinologist was gonna blood test me and see that I had like high ketones, because I told her I wasn't doing this diet anymore because she was against it. So yeah, I don't really notice anything different from doing that. But I think I'm just gonna still stick to carnivore and maybe input a little bit of maybe a little bit of fruit, or I don't know what I'm doing. I'm a mess. But yeah, that's the update. So this is with my daughter's pregnancy, and you could see it just got darker and darker. And this is with my current pregnancy.
Just the last few tests are just like, hold on, it's focusing. They've just gotten like fainter and fainter. So, I don't know. Hey guys, welcome back. I look like crap. I just got up. Today is 15 days past ovulation and I'm still pregnant so far. My test got a little bit darker yesterday. I switched back to my other medication for my thyroid yesterday, and so I'm not sure if my thyroid being so low has to do with the slow rise in the HCG. So I'm gonna take another test in a little bit, and at 1:45 today I'm going to get the HCG blood work done again to see if it's gone up at all, and we're just gonna go from there. I'm still having some light spotting, but it's died down a lot since yesterday, so that's good, but it's still concerning. But it kind of seems like it's related to the thyroid medication was too low, so I'm hoping today I took a higher dose. I'm hoping that that's gonna help with the HCG levels, because I know the baby develops primarily off of the thyroid hormone, and if I wasn't getting enough, then clearly the baby wasn't getting enough. Hey guys, welcome back. Still look a mess. I always look like a mess. It's 15 or 16 days past ovulation. Still having spotting on and off. It hasn't been too bad, but it's definitely there. I just got my blood work back and my HCG has risen, so the doctor said it looks like a viable pregnancy, which is good news, but I'm still, worried with the spotting. But my level was 32, I think, a couple days ago, and now it's 46, so it hasn't doubled. But I got the blood work done yesterday, like at 1 o'clock. And last night I took a pregnancy test, and this morning I took a pregnancy test, and the one this morning was significantly darker than the one from yesterday. So hopefully that means that levels have gone up even more. I'll show you guys what they look like so you can see. So this was before, and these were last night. And this was this morning. So definitely got more dark this morning. And I know I look like a freaking crazy person for taking so many tests, but when a doctor tells you that you're probably going to lose your baby, you just want to keep making sure that you're pregnant. So a lot of those tests maybe would have gotten darker if I was patient and held my pee longer, but I just kept taking tests to make sure there was still some kind of line because I was just really worried. So that's my update, and I'll keep you guys updated the rest of the pregnancy. Hey guys, welcome back. I just woke up. I think I'm 17 or 18 days past ovulation. I am going to the doctor today to get an ultrasound to see if the baby is an ectopic pregnancy or not. So that's later this afternoon. Still having some meat aversions. My pregnancy tests are still positive and getting darker but slowly, and I'm still kind of spotting on and off, so I'm not sure. I'm very anxious to see what happens this afternoon. I'm dying to know, and I'm supposed to get blood work back from Saturday with the HCG levels to see if they're going up like they should. So we shall see what happens.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a few days. Today is November 16th. I'm currently probably close to 6 weeks pregnant, maybe 5. We're not sure exactly, maybe 5 weeks, 5 days or something along the lines of that. And I have continued to have bleeding. I've actually had worse bleeding and very large clots. 2 days ago started coming in the morning. Like I got up to pee, and when I peed I could feel these like two large clots coming. And then it progressed to like not a ton of blood, but just heavier bleeding than it's been. I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. So after that, I called my doctor, and she wasn't in, but the nurse practitioner was in, so she said she wanted me to get checked out immediately by her. And she was kind of struggling with the ultrasound machine at first, and then I was also bleeding at the same time, and I don't know if the blood affected the view, like with the gel or whatever, but anyways, she started doing the ultrasound, couldn't see anything. Then she pulled the wand out and there was blood all over it, and then she proceeded to put more gel over the blood, put it back in, and still she's like, well, I can't find anything. And so I was just kind of like pretty sad, but at the same time I could see there was like some user error going on there. So anyways, so she's like, normally I don't do ultrasounds on people until they're like 7 or 8 weeks. So you're like 5, so it's really too early. But I knew it wasn't too early because a week ago we did see something. So that just didn't leave me feeling good. Meanwhile, I've been taking the easy at home little pregnancy strips, and I can see that, you know, they're getting a little bit darker, but very slowly. With my daughter, they progressed like super quick. So after that, so this was on Monday, they had me get blood work done. Then Tuesday, I still didn't have the blood work, but I got up again to even bigger blood clots, and then I thought, okay, and then but then it's only when I'm peeing, so like it's not like I'm filling a pad like a period. It's like clots and bleeding when I pee, and then not much in a panty liner, and then when I pee again there's more blood and clots. So then I got in the shower and there was just blood coming out, and I was freaking out, so I decided to call my mom and have her take me to ER because they weren't gonna be able to see me till 3:30 that day. This was on Tuesday, yesterday. And basically we went to ER and they were like, we're gonna give you answers, you know, we're gonna know by the end of this, like here, we're gonna have an idea of what's going on, no more questioning. So I'm like, okay. So luckily they took me pretty quickly, like they took me seriously, being the bleeding. And basically they took blood again. The blood on Monday, so prior to this, a week ago, my HCG went from an 86 to a 277 in a couple days, and we had been tracking it, like I said earlier in this video. It was slow progressing, but then it went from 86 to 277, so we thought, oh, you know, that's a good jump, let's stop. She was like, let's stop testing you, you know, and we'll see how the bleeding goes. So I hadn't been tested since 6 days prior, and I got the test on Monday, and it only went from 277 to 590, which is technically still in range, she said, but it's not, it doesn't look good. It's not what normally happens. So then at the hospital yesterday, they ran the blood again, and it went from 590 in 24 hours, which it's supposed to double in 48 to 72 hours, but in 24 hours, it went from 590 to 725. So when I had first got to the hospital, they kind of told me, they're like, and even the doctor that morning, my regular OB, that she couldn't see me till sooner, she was like, you know, your level's probably dropping and we're probably gonna know today. It's probably gonna be the same or lower. So then at the hospital, it was 725. So that tells them it's still progressing, but I got an ultrasound done at the hospital, and again, they could only see a gestational sac, and they noted that it looked smaller than 5 weeks. And I know for a fact I'm at least 5 weeks. I should be 5 weeks in a few days. I thought I was closer to 6 weeks, but maybe my calculations are off. So I left there feeling pretty upset. So I just want to add that throughout all the bleeding that has been happening from the beginning of this pregnancy, I haven't had any cramping and no pain or even like a period pain. So that's kind of where the doctor and I are kind of skeptical. Hey guys, welcome back. So today is November 18th. I'm probably about 6 weeks pregnant, still pregnant, haven't had any big clots anymore, but I'm still having the bleeding. It's not super heavy, but it's definitely there. I saw my OB yesterday, and basically, you know, my level went to 868 from 590 2 days prior. So that's not a very good increase, and she pretty much is preparing me that I'm going to lose the baby. Hey guys, welcome back. Today I want to update you on what's been going on with my pregnancy. So today is November 29th. I saw the doctor a week ago on November 22nd because we thought for sure at that point we would see a heartbeat. It's okay. At that point I was gonna be more than 6 weeks, almost 7 weeks. And so we thought for sure that would be like make or break. So anyways, we thought for sure there would be a heartbeat. It's Chloe. And we went, and the gestational sac was still there, and a yolk sac had developed, and the measurements that they got of the baby were measuring 5 weeks and 3 days when they should have been measuring they should have been measuring like 6.5 weeks at that point, or 6 weeks and 5 days. And so the doctor was just kind of baffled because she thought she was going to be able to tell me yes or no if the baby was okay, but because there was development from the previous ultrasound, there still wasn't a heartbeat. But she left the room and came back and said that, you know, once the yolk sac is visible within 11 days, that there has to be a heartbeat, pretty much. So we agreed that we wouldn't do an ultrasound until 11 days, and that would have been December 5th at that point, because it was like the weekend was 11 days, so it was gonna be like 13 days. So fast forward, I still continued having like light bleeding, just how it's been this whole time. And on Sunday, which was the 27th of November, I just kind of felt like my pants get warm and my panty liner was filled. I went to the bathroom and you're okay? My panty liner was filled completely, which had never happened before. And basically,
after that, a big clot came out, and then I just sat there and I was still bleeding, and then I felt something bigger come out, and I just knew it was the baby. So I was just upset, of course, and I had my husband get a bowl and a spoon to get it out of the toilet, and you could see it was clearly the baby. I'll insert a photo. It's kind of graphic if you want to see, if you're watching this, what that looks like at almost 8 weeks. Yeah, it's been very upset. I've cried till my eyes hurt. I know I'm not crying right now, but it's been very difficult. So anyway, so that happened, and I started bleeding like really heavily, and the doctor had said if I start bleeding, Chloe, if I start bleeding more than more than one pad full per hour, 2 hours in a row to go, and after that happened, I filled a pad in like 5 minutes with like fully with blood. So we ended up going to the ER. They did lab work, and at that point, this whole time my HCG has been in range but super low. Like the doctors had never seen something like this, and not miscarry sooner, pretty much. So my levels last Monday at, how many weeks would that be? Almost 7 weeks, was 2200, and my level at the hospital was 4200 right after I had miscarried. So by tomorrow, which would be 8 weeks, I would have had to go from Sunday at 4200 to this Wednesday. I would have had to gone to 32,000 to be in a viable range. So that just wasn't rising quickly enough. And that was, I figured the level would have been higher because I still had nausea and stuff. But yeah, that wasn't enough. So anyway, so they did the ultrasound. They confirmed that the sac, the gestational sac, everything they saw prior, the yolk sac, was no longer visible. But they wrote it as an incomplete abortion because they said there were still like big clots and I guess pregnancy debris still left. I'm sure that's the wrong term. There was still stuff left in there. And the ER was ridiculous. It was like so backed up, and so I called my OB's hotline. I'm like, what do you think I should do? And I was still bleeding at that point. So she told me just to wait and I also brought the baby, the embryo, with us so that they could send it to the pathology to get any tests done on it. So in order to do that, I had to get checked into a bed for them to check in the baby to the lab because it's like a whole process. So we decided to wait. We ended up waiting like 5 extra hours. Finally got to the bed, and my OB had thought they were going to do a D&C and that they were going to call her to do it. But they ended up deciding not to do a D&C, that they thought we should wait a week and see if everything comes out naturally, and then if there's still, do another ultrasound if there's still stuff in there, that we would schedule a D&C. So after all that, they gave me a shot for the cramping. I don't remember what the medication was, and I went home and I cried all night. And yeah, so today's Tuesday. That was on Sunday. We got home late on Sunday, and now on Thursday I'm gonna do an ultrasound to confirm if everything's come out properly. And in the meantime, I'm going back to carnivore. I wasn't eating strict carnivore that whole time. I was really nauseous. so I was eating like low carb. But I've been pretty inflamed from adding the carbs back in, so that's what happened. I hope this helps anybody who is going through the same thing or is not sure what's what, or if you want to see what that looks like. So yeah, I'm getting labs done on Thursday for my thyroid when I go to my OB appointment to check, you know, where I'm at, because the last time I got labs done, my TSH was at a 10, which isn't super high, but that's not good. It should be under like 4. So yeah, from the beginning, I believe that my thyroid being so out of whack contributed to the development of the baby not being right. Because from the beginning, I was super low on the medication because I was trying to switch. And yeah, from everything I read, the thyroid hormone is super essential in the development of a baby, especially at the very beginning. And from the very beginning of this, I was bleeding from the beginning. So yeah, I'm praying this doesn't happen again to me. And today's 2 days after, I'm still having bleeding. I'm still having some bad cramping. They had measured like a very large clot still stuck there, and I don't think that's come out yet, so I'm hoping everything comes out by Thursday so I don't need a DNC. But in the meantime, I'm hoping to get back to making videos on my diet and what I'm doing otherwise. But yeah, that's what happened. And I mean, I know I was Googling a bunch of my symptoms of what's going on, trying to find answers. And so I'm hoping that this video will show some, I don't want to not give anyone mixed hope either, because sometimes you can bleed and things can be okay. I was hoping that this would be more of a success story, and I kept updating you guys. But unfortunately, this is how things ended. So hopefully this helped you guys out, and I will see you in my next video. Please like and subscribe to see more videos, hopefully not like this one.